Yeah.
This ain't gonna work. This is bad, man. Like I said, I don't. Maybe for y'all, because y'all grew up with these characters as being
No, y'all.
Moving on to the entertainment related stuff. Now, let me go ahead and find something right here for y'all. Okay, now here's the deal. No, we just got through talking about a few things that were movie related. And I know a lot of times, even though we say we feel good about things, we're optimistic, people still come in and they think that we hate shit. Y'all haters, you don't like shit. What's wrong with y'all? You get it all the time, Corey.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, you don't like anything. I was like, I gave a lot of things full prices and better than sex. No, you hate everything. All right.
I did something. Oz and I did something yesterday about Zack Snyder, and we told people this is not about his work. This is not about DC. This is about him and the tragic loss of his daughter.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many times I had to put that out there. And I actually say I feel good about people saying that it is about him. We should put that everything else about his work aside, because that's really petty at this moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody had to come in and like, yeah, well, Corey's a hypocrite talking about his daughter. You know, after the shit you talked about him, I was like, did you just not hear me say that this is not about his work? You know, you assholes out there. Which is why I want to be a little bit positive tonight about things. And I want you to hear me now. I say it all the time, but hear me clear. I'm going to talk about why something can work. Okay. And I talk shit about it too. And I said, I don't think that this is something that can that'll actually come together right, because everybody want to have that universe. And Universal right now, they have announced that. Look, man, they
are universal.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a universe. It's them.
Hey, if anybody should have a universe, hey, it's in the name. And they say we earned that shit long time ago. What people doing now? That's my shit. I did that. And I'm going to try to explain to you. Because what they're saying, and I'm taking a sniff right here so you can hear me clear. What they said, okay, yeah, we starting a universe, but here's the thing. Okay, maybe we don't have a real roadmap to how the stories are going to be. Maybe we don't have...
Maybe we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Maybe.
Kurtz's giggle was perfect.
Hey, if y'all laughing, I cannot blame y'all. But they said, but you know what? We got them stars for your ass, because they said, if our shit wasn't good, then how is it that we can attract all this A-list goodness here? We got Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll. We got that chick who was in the Secret Service.
Gazelle.
Oh yeah, as the Mummy. We got. Oh, check it out, y'all. We got Javier Bardem as Frankenstein's monster, and Tom Cruise as
Dracula?
as just a dude.
A dude, like fighting the mummy.
Yeah. The dude that hangs with the monsters. Yeah, Brendan Fraser. I don't know. He might be.
Wait, is he going to be in all the movies?
I don't know, but he's helping to set up this with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. He might be. What's the guy that's the hunter of all the creatures?
Van Helsing.
He might be a Van Helsing type guy. I don't know. I really don't know.
They ain't gonna bring Hugh Jackman back.
You know what he is? No, hell no. Hell no. You know, he's the guy that wears tight black shirts. That's him.
Okay.
Monster Impossible. But Martin liked it. Come on, man.
That was terrible and brilliant at the same time.
Hey, man, you are the pro. I need nobody's approval but yours.
Okay.
Thank you, Father. But I'm gonna tell y'all, for me to come out and say that this might be a possibility, because I'm gonna give you about 3 reasons why this universe could work. And I wasn't crazy about it at first, because I don't like this dark universe trailer that they put out. Martin said, I think it's kind of cool. Did we see the same thing? I'm going to play it because I'm not sure. But for this new universe with all these stars, all this big budget special effects driven spectacle that they have going on, this is the teaser that they put out for Universal's upcoming Dark Universe.
To a new world of gods and monsters.
People are like, Okay, first of all, this shit's available on Blu-ray and DVD. A crummy fucking commercial, because people looking at this and they're like, okay, well, you hyping up Johnny Depp and Russell Crowe and
Javier Bardem.
Where are those motherfuckers in the trailer? All this black and white old shit.
Yeah, this is very jarring to me.
Yeah, I was expecting it to transition into the new stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just played that modern epic music over it.
And it looks so goofy with that old footage under it, because you're like, what are you going for? Because that's like classic footage. We already kind of know what the soundtrack should sound of that.
Yeah.
So to seeing it with this new millennial music, it's kind of weird.
It's a weird disconnect.
Yeah. I mean, that's a cheap thing to do, because business-wise, smart, because you get to put that colorful ass dark universe logo on there, and meanwhile get to peddle all your old stuff. And it worked for you, so why did you like it?
Well, it worked for me because I thought, when I saw it, it was billed as the trailer for the new Dark Universe, and I started watching it, and I was like, they got me. It's some fan-made trailer thing. But as I watched it, I was like, well, this is kind of cool. It's taking all these great iconic bits from all these different movies, putting together. It's kind of like when they did and they do this sometimes, when they took the Elvis song Rubberneckin' and kind of put the modern beat on it, and it kind of made it fresh again. I was like, okay, it's kind of like a remix of it, and it's taking all the best moments from all these different movies and putting them together with this music that makes them look like, man, that looks really cool.
You could have put some, I know you haven't filmed a whole lot, you could have put some concept art or something in there.
That, and just don't make it feel like, because when we were watching this, I was like, all right, Coleman's going to tell us this is a fan edit, because it looks like something like a fan could put together.
Yes, it does. Yes. And it's not. No.
Honestly, until I got here tonight and you started talking about it, that's what I thought this was.
Yeah. And you know something, and the only reason why I'm not coming at them too hard is because they already kind of pulled out a proof of concept with The Mummy. The Mummy is coming out pretty soon. We see this is done. And the second time I saw the Mummy trailer, I was like, you know what? There's some cool stuff in there.
Sure.
I thought we were going to get back into some Brandon Fraser stuff. You know?
Like some low-rent half-ass Indiana Jones.
Yeah, some hilarious hijinks and shit.
And the Scorpion King.
So have they officially said that Dracula, Born Again or whatever, is not a part of this anymore?
They did. Was it Dracula Untold?
Untold, yeah.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to hear that shit.
Say Dracula Untold. It wasn't I, Frankenstein?
No, that was a different company.
Oh, okay.
That was Legendary.
Okay.
So.
They're like the Ang Lee's Hulk of this universe. It's like, forget about that shit.
But you know something? The things that The Mummy promised right here, and this is the Tom Cruise movie, and they I've got to tell you, they did some things in that second trailer that just little bits and pieces and hints at things that I said, I kind of like that idea.
Stop until she has remade our world.
Looking for me.
When I saw them dudes come out, I was like, oh shit. Okay, this might be actually a little bit scary.
Did y'all see that tonight?
Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah. Close enough. So the horror part of it, I was thinking, that's cool, but they're not even playing it up, and that's what brings me into why this universe that they're putting up together, why it might work. Now, here's the deal with Universal, and I got to call Universal out, because they out there talking about, when I said that when they were talking about, that's my shit, I did all this. They're talking about, all right, you know what? Everybody out there trying to do a universe, we were the original, because we had the monster universe.
Sure.
Everybody.
Well, they had different monsters. They didn't come together until Abbott and Costello stepped in.
Actually, no. It was before that. Because, maybe not. I don't know.
Did the scientists bounce in between the movies or something like that?
Well, no. That's the thing with Universal, because they're sitting up here trying to talk about, Marvel wouldn't be shit if it weren't for Tony Stark. He wouldn't be shit if it weren't for Frankenstein and the Wolfman. Because back then, they did Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. They had these creatures would come together, hang out with Dracula in his house, in House of Dracula. That's a Tyler Perry sitcom. And here's the deal. Now, I will say this. You did lay the groundwork, but this universe shit that y'all are talking about, no, y'all did crossovers.
Right.
Yeah. They would. Frankenstein would hang out with the Wolfman in one movie, and one of them would die, and then they respawn in another movie that's not connected to the previous film.
Right.
If I have that correct, if I'm thinking correctly about that. you know, they would reboot these characters in different movies. There would not be a continuing story arc, and you know, and that's fine. I'm willing to give you that because it was effective. Because as far as pop culture is concerned and society is concerned, you can't think about these creatures without thinking one is hanging out with the other now. They are kind of the Avengers because they.
Well, after Mad Monster Party.
Well, it was even before that, but Mad, you know.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. And the Groovy Ghoulies.
Yeah, man, they were all kind of, as a kid, you couldn't think about Frankenstein without Dracula and the Wolfman in the background, you know, getting his back. You know, and Mad Monster Party, being a kid, you know, I saw that, and that just gives you proof right there that they were making movies where all these creatures were together just by default.
The Hunchback. The Mummy. Dr. Jekyll. Mr. Hyde.
Hello.
Where's that Wimpy Kid movie?
Where the hoes at? but you know, that's a movie from 1963, I believe, or 60-something. It was Rankin Bass animated film. But you know, that's not the only one. Throughout the times, it was that, and even the 80s and on, you had that and the Monster Squad. You had Hanna-Barbera doing stuff.
Hell, you got even Hotel Transylvania?
Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, the Groovy Ghoulies, the cereals.
That's the thing.
Ooh, yeah.
My mama she could not have buy one box of Monster cereal. Like if she bought Frankenberry, she better get Count Chocolate. You know, because I'd be at home and like, where's Count Chocolate?
He's lonely.
Frankenberry's lonely.
She didn't get you Boo Berry too?
Man, don't nobody give a fuck about Boo Berry.
Boo Berry's the best one.
Boo Berry wasn't shit. That's what I'm talking about. How come nobody gives a shit about Boo Berry? Because Boo Berry wasn't part of that classic Universal Monster lineup. You know,
he didn't have a movie.
Yeah. You know, plus he's a fucking pothead. Nobody gives a fuck about Boo Berry.
Which is why he gets a cereal.
Yeah. Yummy Mummy is even up in there, but the team was Count Chocolate and Frankenberry because we are taught that those two and a couple others are meant to be together.
So why did they ditch Fruit Brute? Because he's a werewolf.
Because he wore them fucking colorful over-ass Mork from Mork overalls.
but they made Boo Berry prominent, and they just gave Fruit Brute the boot.
Because Boo Berry's the best, man.
You know what it was? It was a while back they found out Fruit Brute was gay, man.
That's what I think.
Fruity Brute was a Frankenberry.
More like Fruity Brute.
But I said that already. But you couldn't think about one without the other, and I got that. And so by default, with the way we've been conditioned today, yeah, they laid the groundwork. Not a real universe, but I think the cross, at least they put in our minds the idea of the cross interaction.
Okay, maybe this might be speaking from ignorance, but I don't understand how this is supposed to be playing to the main people who they want to see this, like my age and younger. It's like people who are going to be like in 18 in that generation, because like we know of Frankenstein and the Invisible Man and you know all these other creatures from the Universal Monster series, but we've all seen them in bad things. And that's all we've seen them in since we've been kids, because we've had things like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which wasn't that great, and we've had the I Frankensteins and the Van Helsing movies. So I'm trying to figure out who they're making this dark universe for, because you guys seem to enjoy it because you have some ties to it as kids, but everything I've seen from them as children, as a child, it doesn't endear it to me.
But it's a part of culture now. Whether you've seen them in something or not, you know of them, and you know of them as a monster supergroup. You know, it's like even if you look at bad stuff, they are driven into us as kids as part of our culture now. You know, they're like the Beatles. You know, you don't have to like them, but
yeah, you got Hotel Transylvania.
The way they're setting these up, and there'll be elements of horror in there. But they really are being set up like as superheroes are sci-fi adventure. And I know a lot of people scoff at that, but I'm going to tell you why that works. For one, I mean, they're going about it the right way. I like when, if you're going to go big with horror, don't try to come in with too much supernatural stuff, because supernatural stuff, when it has too many effects and too much pizzazz to it, it's not effective to me. They're kind of taking the Marvel route here. The universe is being set up by Dr. Jekyll, who has this company called Prodigium.
He's the Nick Fury in his universe?
Yeah, he is, man.
Okay.
No bullshit. He really is. They run an organization where they try to counter evil.
See, now these cracks are starting to show up, Martin.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you why I like it, because that, like Martin. Now that's the first thing we said when we saw The Mummy. We said that we like that they are trying to bring in science to actually leverage some of this horror stuff.
Dr. Jekyll operates a thing called Prodigium, and Prodigium essentially is an organization that pinpoints evil and tries to neutralize it.
Okay, motherfucker, you
They
shit.
got the wrong person to talk. So what are we doing? He's not even looking at the camera. So we
Because they're bringing in science.
Yeah, science.
Yeah.
The per diem.
He's even looking like, how to describe this bullshit. I'll get your opinion. I don't expect everybody to agree with this, but I like that they're trying to go big with this. If you want to go big, like I said, I don't like when horror films have too many special effects. I don't like when they're big. I like it when it's a little more low key. I like it when it's quiet. I think the right approach to do this kind of thing with these creatures, especially since we all know them and they're not really that scary anyway. If you're gonna do big budget special effects movies, take the big adventure route with them. I like that they're using Russel Crowe to be Dr. Jekyll, who's the one that's bringing this all together. I kind of like what they're doing with him. Like, he's running things and he's telling people like, hey, look, I got your back. I want to help you out with this evil going on in the world, but don't fuck with me.
Just learn to be wary of a man like me.
Like, come here, motherfucker. Don't run from me.
Oh, is that when Corey Coleman did?
I had to throw that check. I know.
Don't you ever? No.
I know that. That's me writing the email. Motherfucker.
The thing is, Dr. Jekyll leads right into the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, you know what? And I don't mind it. And I'm looking forward to see what he does. Look like an evil Colonel Sanders right there.
Jesus Christ, man.
You don't like my chicken?
Show you my spices. No.
Got these herbs and spices for your ass.
Are you out your goddamn mind?
Motherfucker, you out your mind? Even back in the original day, Universal's, they didn't even start paying attention to the horror anymore. They got
silly at that point. It's like you wanted that so badly, and then when you watched it, you're like, oh,
like love stories.
Yeah, even Universal. Look, no disrespect to these classic monsters. I love them. I grew up with them. I adore them. I love them so much. Maybe that's why I want this. But even Universal at the time, they said, "Yeah, this is fucking stupid." and they weren't even horror movies anymore. They actually
Dracula
brought
versus
in
Billy the Kid.
Well, back in the day, they actually brought in the comedy duo of that time, Abbott and Costello.
Plus that fiend out of a nightmare, the vampire Batman.
With the cartoon cape.
Why is this cape made out of trash bag? Broke ass Dracula.
You know, that's all these special effects back then. We're looking at the trailer, and this is the 40s, so they couldn't actually do CG effects, so they had a cartoon cape come out they animated his cape for Dracula.
Plus that fiend out of a nightmare, the vampire Batman, Count Dracula.
Got that cartoon pimpness going on right there. Even back then, they decided these aren't, these things right here.
Played them for laughs.
What's that?
They played them for laughs.
Yeah, they played them for laughs. They didn't give a fuck. I look at it, and it gets me hopeful. If at the time Universal could even look at this and said, you know what, we're not taking this serious anymore. We can cross this over with anything. We can do anything with it. Then I don't really feel like it has to be held to being horror movies anymore. In fact, since it's Universal, we might even get that Tyrese and Ludacris meets Frankenstein movie right there.
Yeah, exactly right.
I was thinking, which two comedians could they have in here? It would be those two.
Fast and Furious is already at Universal. Yeah. Tyrese and Ludacris are the Abbott and Costello of the Fast and Furious franchise.
If they did Fast and the Furious and the Spooky, I'd be all for that shit.
Right there, we got the Fast and the Frankenstein.
Yeah, we are with the Fast and the Furious movies. You have to figure out which ones come in the timeline. Now you have to figure out where the mummy fits in.
I feel like The Rock fighting Frankenstein's monster. Shit would be awesome.
And by the way,
that would be.
I told Sammy to make that poster today. He's the one that came up with the Fast and the Frankenstein. Which, goddamn it, Sammy, I want that movie now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
they'll do it.
And again, if they did it, would we be surprised?
No.
If Frankenstein was driving a car, would we be surprised?
Get him, Franken. Wasn't that his name in Death Race? Was it Frankenstein the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. It's him the whole time.
I mean, if they called out the roster, Ludacris, Tyrese, Jason Statham, Frankenstein, would anybody be like, what? No, everybody be like,
I'll say that. I like that.
Let's see how this
I like
plays.
that they're bringing it back to reality.
They're grounding it in something.
I was wondering when he was gonna pop up.
Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, Frankenstein, Optimus Prime. Yeah, why not? Booberry, Count Chocula.
Yes.
Hey, look. Speaking of the Fast and the Furious, my last thing here, my last big point is that Universal, you guys are saying, man, this stuff that they're trying to do, it looks dumb. It looks stupid. I don't know why they're trying to do this. And that is my point. Universal makes dumb shit work.
That's true.
If we look at, one only has to follow one franchise from back in the day. Fast and Furious has literally lost its fucking mind and went from exaggerated street racing to being superhero movies. And the progression was it was so well planned. It was so steady. It was so smooth that at this point
It snuck up on us.
snuck up on us. We are frogs boiled in water. Nobody at this point, nobody is walking out saying, "What the fuck?" except me. And when I say it, people are like, "Man, what the fuck is wrong with you? Have fun. Shut up."
Well, to be fair, it had a mind to lose first. This new Mummy thing looks like it looks like Fast and Furious already. you got a sandstorm destroying London.
And well, again, we're used to seeing that kind of thing. Here's the other thing. If I can't convince you with Vin Diesel and the Furious crew, those Martin's favorite, those minions. I
love seeing the
Why you always bringing that back up?
Man, I don't want to do it, Martin. I don't want to do it, but it cannot be denied. These little fuckers right here, they are nothing but yellow balls talking gibberish. They don't even have to have half a script because they ain't got no dialogue.
Nope.
But they are a $1 billion industry right now. Sure, they messed up. They had some, they've stalled out in a few places. Dracula Untold. That, you know what? They
Talk about stalling out. The car exploded with that one. Kablooey.
Yeah, some people say, who's trying to tell that shit in the first place? There's a reason why it's untold. Yeah, they messed up with that, but they don't give up. And once they hit their stride,
I feel like they did. We haven't seen another Dracula movie since.
You will.
They'll abandon you.
No, you know what they did? They said, Dracula, go sit your ass down. Mommy, come on up.
Well, did they do I Frankenstein also? Is that
No,
Legendary. Those are the guys who did Underworld.
Oh, okay.
Where were you like 30 minutes ago when I told him they were not the ones that did our Frankenstein? Nobody listened to me. 20 minutes ago, he asked, did they do our Frankenstein? I said, no, that was Legendary. You even responded, yeah. And then right now, didn't they do our Frankenstein?
Autopilot.
Whatever. Sure. Let's go for it.
If you keep asking, the answer might change.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, and here's the point.
Universal's I Frankenstein.
Sure. I should have just said, yeah, they did. Yeah, good. But here's the deal. Universal is so good at making their dumb shit work that their dumb shit has made you think that they are a bigger studio than what they are. At least some people are, because of their big franchises, their properties. A lot of people think behind Disney, they are the biggest grossing studio out there. And if I'm correct in looking at what's out there, I was looking at this on
Between the Fast and Furious and Jurassic World, they aren't.
They are not. But between Fast and Furious, Jurassic World, Minions, what did Minions come from? Despicable Me. If I'm looking at this right, at least from 2016, I'm looking at this on Deadline Hollywood. Domestically and internationally, they're ranked 4th. Disney, Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, and then
I thought
all the top 3 have big superhero franchises. You got Marvel with Disney, DC with you put it back up, and then Fox with X-Men.
Yeah. I'm looking at both domestic and international. They come in 4th place in both those, and I see why people can. But despite what all those other studios have, people think Universal's right under there, and they're not. But they know how to center in on 1 or 2 or 3 properties. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, "Man, this is bullshit," but it works.
They do a lot of horror movies too that kind of just slide under the radar. Like I think the second Conjuring or Ouija 2 was a Universal movie.
Yeah. Get Out, wasn't that?
So that was Universal as well. Yeah.
Transformers is whose?
Paramount.
That's Paramount.
Okay.
Yeah. This ain't gonna work. This is bad, man. Like I said, I don't. Maybe for y'all, because y'all grew up with these characters as being
no, y'all.
Well, maybe it's you, Coleman, growing up with somebody who idolizes these characters as being together and coming as a package deal. It's something that is going to be great. But for me, man, I just feel like us growing up, people my age and younger, we've always seen these characters as either goofy or dated. And that's what irks me about this. Like, I'm interested to see how this turns out and what direction they're going to take. And I'm assuming we're going to get the starting embers of it in the new Mummy movie. So
and look, it's, maybe from a creative standpoint, yeah. I did have a fourth point. If they don't get you, they're probably going to get a lot of people because of the star power that's behind it. I mean, they already got all these A-list people. As I said, Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, Javier Bardem, Russell Crowe. Man, I love this picture. Russell Crowe like, hey, wait, I ain't ready yet. They snapped that picture. Everybody looking cool. He looking confused. Hey, wait, hold on. And that's the one that they use. I love how Tom Cruise just like, I ain't dressing up for this shit.
Yeah, no way.
Everybody got on their GQ suits, the Esquire. He's wearing that black shirt and them jeans, man.
He's doing his Corey Coleman.
Man, he's the one I learned it from.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's good enough for Cruise, that black shirt is good enough for me right there.
And I really like the casting of Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man because I'm sick of seeing him and shit.
I wish he could be casted as a quiet man too.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing his ass too. But that a lot of people actually said that. Yeah, good. I don't have to look at his ass.
Exactly.
crazy ass makeup on.
Yeah, man. It'll be a fake nose and nothing else running around.
Yeah.
They probably filmed him with that just so he'd do the movie.
Yeah.
Just composite
Why is it all green? Don't worry about it. It'll make sense in the movie. Edit out.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, it's another $20 million to CGI out of nose. But yeah, I think the star power could help out with this too, and I like that. I like the casting. Now, with all that said, I'll wrap it up by saying I also agree with you guys. I mean, if they come together and they after they fought evil and they've been fought by Tom Cruise or whoever else has got them and put them in that cage and saved the day, if they're released as a big Avengers type monster group and they're fighting aliens, I'm fucking done. I'm done with it. I'm out. Look, and the other thing is, they're talking about, because they have the property, they're already talking about, we're doing everything. We're doing Bride of Frankenstein. And we're like, man, we ain't even got a Frankenstein yet.
This is how I feel about this franchise coming out. It's a universe. No!
You know what? I do too, except I'm like,
Well, I can write a dissertation on how it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
to get the project
I
going.
think you did. I think you said why we will never have a universe, and then they actually did it. So
if the Mummy bombs, do you think they're just gonna be like, fuck it?
They're too in too deep.
They're done at that point.
Yeah.
I think they're done. Then.
You know what? No, at this point they got some commitments, so they'll probably be DC for a little bit until they sputter out, because DC's money. DC's making money,
right?
But if they start, if Universal pulls this and Mummy's not a success, they'll do one or two more to see how it goes, and after that, they yanking the plug on that shit. It's not happening.
They should.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. They took a picture for GQ or Esquire, so they in.
That's just a picture.
They're not in costume or anything.
No, that goes to show you they got nothing planned.
Johnny Depp, I need this money.
Yeah. He really does.
He does. So, that's my whole thing right there. I'm optimistic about it. I'm, again, cautiously optimistic. Who knows? I'm willing to give it a chance. So shut up.
I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Gotta throw that in there.
I'm going to give it a chance.
I was just like laughing as you were like, everyone was saying, yeah, you guys always hate on everything. The three of us just hated on this the whole entire time.
But we gave valid points, though.
Oh, yeah, we did.
No. No, you didn't. He's like, man, I'm a millennial. Prove to me this shit.
Those are my exact words.
Fuck old ass Frankenstein. Give me that new shit. I bet if Kanye was playing that motherfucker, you like.
If they made
Shit, if they did a trap soundtrack to this, you like.
Young Thug is the Invisible Man. I'd be down with that. I would be down with that. I would so be down with that.
Maybe that's what they should do. I don't know.
T.I. and Dr. Jekyll, I'm in. I'll sign it up, Universal. Let's make that happen.
The Monsters of Atlanta.
Oh my God. This is writing itself. Bro, when I get home.
I need to stop.